The Golden State Warriors look like a different team this year, and not only do they look like a different team, but they are deep, and some of the sets that Steve Kerr has been running and the offense has been elite so far this year. But the reason I say they are a different team, normally in the past, if Steph Curry would go down, this team would be cooked for a good couple weeks until he comes back. This year, though, they are now 6-1, even with the Steph Curry injury, and look like the deepest team in basketball. All right, so this play right here was pretty genius by Steve Kerr, right? So Draymond's going to cut through. We're going to get into a little bit of a pick and roll here with Trayce Jackson-Davis, and then Trayce is going to roll, but instead of Steph making the read, right, we're going to get the switch onto Alex Sarr, and Draymond's going to end up making the read. So watch as this happens, right? So he's going to come off the pick and roll. Draymond's going to pop high. He's going to feed him. And as he feeds him, now Draymond makes the read of Trayce rolling. You've got Andrew Wiggins flowing high as the throw behind. If he really wanted to, Gary Payton cuts right back door because he sees the back of Jordan Poole's head, which is what you do. But ultimately, Alex Sarr completely turns around and forgets that he's guarding the greatest shooter to ever touch the floor. Steph does what he's been doing for the last 15 years, flows to the open area when the defense isn't paying attention, and that's about as easy as they come to start a game off for Steph. I've been saying this since they got Trayce with the 57th overall pick in the draft a couple of years ago. First off, great pass by Steph Curry, but I thought Trayce was going to be huge in the NBA, and just watch him. I mean, I thought that was a huge steal. He beats George Carrington, and I think that's Bilal up there. Yeah, because there's Jordan Poole and Alex Sarr back here in defense, and he's just going to run right by him. Steph's going to hit him with a perfect pocket pass, and welcome to the league, Rook. All right, so now we have an interesting look here by the Warriors, and they're going 5 out with Keyshawn George locking up Steph Curry here on the wing. He's no help, right? That's the greatest shooter of all time. We're paying attention to him. So Trayce is trying to get the ball off to somebody. He doesn't get it to Gary Payton, who cuts through, and now he's going to go over and get into a little pick and roll here with Draymond. And having Draymond as a guy that can read this pick and roll is huge for the Warriors, because Trayce is going to roll right into all of this empty space. It's an empty side pick and roll, and Draymond's just going to make the really easy read, and that is throwing the lob up top for Trayce. I mean, Alex Sarr way overcommits on this pick and roll right here. He is way too high if he's supposed to be in drop coverage, and realistically, we're not worried about Draymond pulling up, so he needs to be back. He should probably be about right here reading this pass. And what makes this so tough to guard is, in theory, for an empty side pick and roll that's happening right here, the guy that should be in help is the lowest man down here that is guarding somebody defensively. So that should be Keyshawn George, who is over here in help for the pick and roll. However, he's guarding the greatest shooter of all time. So why would he go and help? Jordan Poole ends up in the middle of the paint, just kind of standing there. He doesn't really do anything, but that is really tough to stop from the Wizards' perspective. This is something else that we need to talk about, the defense of this Warriors team. Right here we got Pods locked up with Bilal Coulibaly. Maybe I'd like to see him a step over or so he can help on this little shuffle cut here. But overall, I believe this is Johnny Davis is going to try to cut right to the rim, and a great job of, one, Moses Moody chasing through the screen and getting back to cover him, but also of Kevon Looney, who is going to tag him for just a second and then get back to Valanciunas. Great job there on that whole screening action defensively. And then you're going to see Jordan Poole try and come to the ball, but it's a great job of, actually I lied, that's Kispert, sorry, but great job, you see, tagging him, and then fantastic job of shooting this gap by Jonathan Kuminga. He's going to come right here and disrupt this play and poke the ball free, and then it's going to go back to Johnny Davis, who first man on the floor always gets it, but then Hield is going to poke it back out, and then he's going to go down and do a chin up on the rim, and that's really what gets him started on the night. Now, I want you to, if you're a Wizards fan or, just an NBA fan in general, you definitely remember marching Gortat for the Wizards, and watch Kevon Looney. He's going to do a phenomenal job of what we call a Gortat screen, where he's just going to roll right to the rim and wash the defender out with him. He's not even really rolling to score. He's just rolling to wash out their big man right here. In this case, it's Valanciunas. And then just watch Podziemski get slimy around this screen and get to his spot at the elbow. Really nice job of keeping Coulibaly on his hip. And then as you can see there, Kevon Looney keeps Valanciunas out of the play successfully. Podziemski gets to his spot and knocks it down. And then this is really all it takes for Buddy Hield to get going. We showed you the dunk earlier. He's a microwave scorer. Fantastic screen right here by Kevon Looney, just erasing Johnny Davis from the play. And then here comes Buddy Hield for the knockdown three-point shot, and it's butter. I mean, Davis can't get back. And Valanciunas got destroyed in drop coverage by Buddy Hield. He's so far back. I mean, you can't do that. We're going to get into a little pick and roll here, and Buddy Hield's going to come off for the three ball. But also, Johnny Davis, you can't go under a screen for Buddy Hield. I mean, Buddy Hield, by the time he gets around Looney, he's just immediately locking eyes at the rim. He's not even worried about anything else. He makes his read there before Johnny Davis can even contest, and it's all net. The contest doesn't even matter. If you made it this far to the video, make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. As you can see here, a large majority of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel, so if that is you, go ahead and fix that right now. Also, go ahead and go check out our football channel, trying to get up to 100 subscribers over there and 25K before Christmas. We talk about the second unit here with the depth. I mean, they got Moody, they got Podziemski, they got Kevon Looney, solid big. And then Buddy Hield, who's the leading scorer, and Jonathan Kuminga, who's the third leading scorer, both coming off the bench. This is a great bench unit this year for the Warriors. Extremely deep. And Kuminga's just going to work off this pick and roll, attacking the rim, getting downhill, gets to a spot here at the elbow. And when he gets to the elbow, one-on-one, because you can't help off Moody, Valanciunas definitely should be, by the time he gets to the elbow, Valanciunas should be sliding here, right? Because you know he's coming downhill, and we're not worried about Kevon Looney. Doesn't happen like that, right? So instead, Kuminga is just going to size him up at the elbow, little rip through move, and get to the left hand, and he's a really good scorer going downhill. Look at all the movement off the ball. Now the Warriors are in 4-round-1, right? So Steph calls for the screen. He's going to set a screen for Wiggins, and then at the last second he changes his mind and comes off the screen from Gary Payton to get the little handoff, little dump off here for the three ball. And normally he makes these, but instead what it causes is Sarr now has to come all the way out to contest, which means that Draymond Green is going into the lane unchecked. The ball goes right off the rim to him. He cleans it up for the and one. A little bit weak, but he got the and one. Now, this is absolutely beautiful basketball, and this is what we call the Steph Curry effect, right? A screen by Draymond Green here, and Curry comes off, attracting both of these defenders. And as this happens, the play just opens up for everybody else on the court, right? So you got the screen, both the defenders go to Curry. You also have the roll with Draymond, and then the throw behind with Buddy Hield if Bub Carrington takes away the roll. So this is an unguardable play, especially if you're sending two at Steph Curry. And so instead of Bub helping from the strong side, Kispert is going to come over and help from the weak side, and Kuminga is just going to cut in right behind him because Jordan Poole doesn't rotate down to take this away. Beautiful basketball. Draymond with the lob. That is really, really tough to stop right here. Oh, man, that's beautiful. Another reason why this Warriors team can be elite this year, or already is transition. And watch this. As Kuminga is bringing the ball down the court, everybody's paying attention to him, right? Jordan Poole, Alex Sarr, Kispert over here. I think this is Bub Carrington trailing the play, and nobody is paying attention to Steph Curry. And they have the ultimate weapon because he's the greatest shooter of all time. Fantastic job by Gary Payton here of working off the ball and setting this screen to free up Steph Curry. Coulibaly doesn't even realize what happened until Gary Payton hits him, and it's a three ball. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button. It'll really help us out in the YouTube algorithm. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.